O'Malley versus Zahabi. That's interesting. I think that's why the other fighter, Cody, no, Cory Sandhagen was basically suggesting O'Malley should take the fight with him, and I think he wanted to do that with him on the White House. I think he ended up taking Zahabi, but I think he kind of knew about that on the backside of everything happening. So it's pretty interesting to see him take the Zahabi fight. And then if you saw the fight thing there, I think who did they have interviewing? Not Aiemann Zahabi, but Faraz Zahabi, Aiemann Zahabi's brother slash coach on the broadcast for the UFC, and he seemed pretty happy about it. Anyways, so obviously he would be, because if he can win that fight, he's made his name. I mean, he's made his name basically like barely winning fights. So this matchup was, I don't know. I think they should have done Conor versus Chandler, or or Chandler versus someone else, not Mauricio Rufy, but someone else. I feel like it's just an interesting matchup of fights that they've chosen. To be honest with you, I think they could have done something different. Let me have a quick look what I think they could have done. I think MMA Guru had some ideas that he put up there, and I thought those were better than at least what these guys had done. These are just like really uncreative matchups in my opinion. I mean, they're not bad, right? But for the White House card, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I was expecting way more than this. Yeah. The BMF title, people are saying, Helwani saying it should have a different rule set. Rule set should be different for the BMF title. I 100% agree. Yeah, Gilbert's like everybody can just shut the fuck up, basically. Okay, let's go to MMA Gurus real quick and check out what he put on there and suggested, because I think his was way better than what I had saw. Yeah, so MMA Guru basically thought that Charles Oliveira was going to dominate Max Holloway. Okay, so he's saying I would have done O'Malley versus Sandhagen. Yep, I definitely would have done that as well. Usman versus Morales. That would have been a sick fight, actually. I'm not going to lie. That would have been a sick fight. It would have been interesting to see if Usman can get to his feet. He said instead of Rufy versus Chandler, I would have done Lopez versus Sterling. 100%, that would have been a way better fight. And Covington versus Wonderboy Thompson. Okay, I think that's way better fights than what they had actually done. Because this one's very interesting to me. So Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins for a middleweight bout. Very interesting matchup. And I think Kyle Dawkins is actually really good. But real quick, going back to the Mauricio Rufy versus Chandler, I think Mauricio Rufy is going to do. I think he's basically like, when I saw him fight the first time, I thought he was the next coming of Conor McGregor, because his stance was just like exactly like Conor McGregor's. Yeah, that karate stance. So I think against Chandler, I think if he can, I think he's basically just sniping like basically what he did to his last opponent. Yeah. I think he's gonna do that basically the way he did it to his last opponent, Rafael Fiziev. Yeah. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. I'm just kind of blanking out a little bit. Okay, Bo Nickel just did a knockout against Rodolfo Vieira, and then Kyle Dawkins just knocked out someone recently. I think that was the second knockout in a row, so that was an interesting fight. This fight is going to be very fascinating to me. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I feel like Bo Nickel is going to go for the takedown towards Kyle Dawkins. I think Kyle Dawkins is going to basically be like something similar to the BMF title fight that we just watched, to be honest with you. And then you got Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. And this is an interesting matchup because Steve Garcia is the ranked number 9. Diego Lopez is the ranked number 2. So if Steve Garcia actually wins against Lopez, you arguably got him ranked as number 2 and Lopez ranked as number 3.